What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're going to be diving back into some Dungeons and Dragons Adventures of the Forgotten Realm, in the Forgotten Realm, whatever. Spoilers. It's a long name. I might just call it D&D spoilers. Last time we left off, we were on the Dueling Rapier, which, you know, good enough, but I think I said enough about it last video. If you're interested in seeing the spoilers that we've previously talked about, basically from Dueling Rapier up, make sure you check out our previous video and so on and so forth. You know, the further you get into the spoilers, if you want to see earlier ones, watch previous videos. If you want to see later ones, well, watch the later videos. Hit that subscribe button down below so that way you don't miss any of this awesome spoiler review and action. Anyways, into the spoilers. 7 mana, black dragon, 5 and 2 black. It's an uncommon, 4/4. Ooh. Anytime I play a 7 mana card, I want it to be a little bit bigger than a 4/4, not gonna lie. When it enters the battlefield, target creature an opponent controls gets -3/-3 until end of turn. If you can cheat it down some way, then sure. You know, using that ability with the Yorion wouldn't be the worst thing. You get a 4/4 flyer, taking creatures out pretty consistently. Green dragon, who looks a lot like the black dragon. I mean, the black dragon has green in its picture, but I guess this is a little more green, and it has poison breath instead of acid breath. Very similar, but you know, a little bit different. The images are even like similar. I like it though. I like it. All right. Anyways. Poison Breath, when green dragon enters the battlefield until end of turn, whenever a creature an opponent controls is dealt damage, destroy it. 6 mana for a 4/4 with flying. Yeah, I don't know. Those two are a little lackluster. Then we have a gold dragon, 5 mana, Boros color scheme, dragon, 4/3, flying, lifelink, haste. Well, nothing to hate there. 5 mana for a 4/3, flying, lifelink, haste. Yeah, sure. As good as Goldspan? No. Think about Goldspan. 5 mana, 4/4, flying, haste. The only thing it doesn't have is lifelink, but it also creates you a treasure token that can tap for 2 additional mana. So, yeah, adult gold dragon. Worse than Goldspan. And then we have Even Death Dracolic. Dracolic? It's a zombie dragon. This is right up my alley. 4 mana for a 5/2. With flash and flying. The only thing that concerns me is the 2 health, right? 2 health is notably bad. Notably bad for even a 3 mana creature, but for a 4 mana creature, it's a little. And it enters the battlefield tapped. All right, you may cast Even Death Dracolich. I don't know. From your graveyard, if a creature not named that card died this turn. Well, that's interesting, because that means you can cast this down on your opponent's turn if they have a creature that dies, you know? Oh, I'm excited for this one. I don't know how effective it'll be. The entering the battlefield tapped won't matter too much outside of the fact that you can't just drop this on the opponent's turn, block a creature, and be like, okay, ha. You know, you can drop it on the opponent's turn, come back your turn, it'll be untapped and ready for fighting, which is nice. But yeah, I mean, I like it. We'll definitely try to work in both zombies and dragons into decks. Whether we have a specifically zombie dragon deck, we'll see. Moon Blessed Cleric, 3 mana, 3/2. Human, Elf, and Cleric. Those, all 3 are some very powerful tribals, or, you know, have the potential. Divine Intervention. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an enchantment, reveal it, shuffle, put that card on top. You don't even put it into your hand? Well, never mind then. Not that good. The Book of Vile Darkness. 3 mono black colors. Legendary artifact. Excuse me. At the beginning of your end step, at the beginning of your end step, by the way, keep note on that. If you lost 2 or more life this turn, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Sounds good. Tap it, exile this card, and artifact you control named Eye of Vecna. I'll have to look for that. And Hand of Vecna, create Vecna, a legendary 8/8 black zombie god creature token with indestructible. It gains all triggered abilities of the exiled card. So it gains the abilities of this, plus whatever the Hand and the Eye do. And it's an 8/8 with indestructible. You know, if we didn't have so many copies of massive exile board wipes in the meta, I'd say this was fantastic. I'd say, you know, sign me up every day of every week of every month of every year for something like this. I love the art. I love the effect. I love having to build something on the board, you know, having this and 2 other cards. And then it reminds me of Obelisk. Is that? It's not Obelisk. It's, I'm not going to be able to remember its name. Y'all know what I'm talking about, though, from Yu-Gi-Oh! Anyone that's watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you have to assemble, you know, all 5 pieces of the, you know, the end guy. It's not Raw, it's not Obelisk, because those are, they came later in the show. Anyways, you know what I'm saying. Werewolf Pack Leader, 2 mana, 3/3, human werewolf. That alone, in mono green, is fair. For mono green Stompy, that's so good. It has Pack Tactics, and its ability is draw a card. So whenever you attack with power 6 or greater this combat, draw a card. It's really not hard at all. Alrighty, cool. 4 mana until end of turn, Werewolf Pack Leader has base power and toughness 5/3, gains trample, and isn't a human. I can't think of too many specifically non-human things that are being used in the meta right now. But the ability to always dump mana into it later to ramp it up, if even only by 2 power. You know, it's giving it trample, allowing it to punch through. Orb of Dragonkind. I like it. 2 mana artifact. Pay 1 mana, tap it, add 2 mana in any combination of colors. Spend this mana only to cast dragon spells or activate abilities of dragons. So we're kind of having this whole dragon theme come back. That's, you know, that's fair enough. Sacrifice this card for 1 red mana and tap it. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may reveal a dragon card from among them, put it into your hand, rest on the bottom of the library in random order. It might see play, honestly. If dragons are okay enough, we've seen cards like this do the job fairly consistently, so. And especially now that we have like 3 mana dragons. Not too shabby. 50 feet of rope. Ooh, that's a lot of rope. 1 mana artifact. You can tap it and climb over. Target wall can't be blocked this turn. I like that. If nothing else, it seems super useless. Incredibly useless right there. But it's fun. I love the idea of that. 3 mana, tap it, tie up. Target creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. That's good. And 4 mana, repel down. Tap it, venture into the dungeon. Activate only as a sorcery. In draft, really good. In constructed play, you'll probably see some people try it. I don't know how good it'll be, but you'll see some people try it. Alrighty, choose your weapon. 3 mana instant speed, 2 weapon fighting, double target creatures power and toughness until end of turn. Ooh. That's alright, because, you know, we previously had things that doubled their power, which, don't get me wrong, is nice, and especially if you're just going for a fling combo. But if you have something that's like adding trample, or you have a creature that already has trample, then adding something like this makes them a little bit more able to stick around. And then we have archery. This spell deals 5 damage to target creature with flying. Not bad for an uncommon, honestly. Not too shabby. Grazilix. Illithid Scholar. I said that all wrong. 3 mana, 3/2 horror. Whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, you may return it to its owner's hand. It's really cool. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage, draw a card. Wow, that's insanely strong. All right, so in the decks that would be played in, chill out, phone. Yorion, that kind of stuff. Also, I'm just now realizing that Danny Trejo is the one that spoiled this card, which is pretty cool. You can see it right there. Anyways, in a Yorion deck where you're already playing enter the battlefield creatures, you're able to bounce those creatures back to your hand, regain their effect, potentially replay adventure spells, which is really deadly. And then, you know, if they don't get blocked, if you're not returning them, you're just drawing. So, yeah, good stuff. You see a pair of goblins, 3 mana instant speed, choose one. Charge them. Creatures you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. Befriend them. Create 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens. It's alright. It's okay. I like the fact that it gives you +2/+0 and not just +1/+0. That's why I'm like, you know, in a mono red deck, or maybe you're going for the go wide strategy and you're on a budget, sure, whatever. Bull's Strength, 2 mana instant speed, target creature gets +2/+2 and gains trample until end of turn. Untap it. It is what it is. Manticore, 4 mana, flash flying. Tail Spikes, when it enters the battlefield, destroy target creature and opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn. 4 mana for a flash flying 2/1. Oh, if it was just destroy target creature, it would be so good. So you remember Ravenous Chupacabra, and that didn't have flying. Granted, it had 2 health, but I think when you have an ability like that, the ability to flash it in, and, you know, the effect, it'd be okay to lose that 1 toughness. But this, destroy target creature, an opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn. I feel like I want to say it's good, but I can't for sure. So I'm just going to say it's okay. The best thing about it is the fact that it's a common, and so everybody can try their hand at it, you know? Then we have Gelatinous Cube, the Ooze, 4 mana 4/3, Engulf. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-ooze creature and opponent controls until Gelatinous Cube leaves the battlefield. Furthermore, we can dissolve it, pay X plus black mana, put target creature card with mana value X, exiled, what? Okay, alright. So it enters the battlefield, it picks up a card much like Skyclave Apparition or whatever, you know, any of those cards that have enter and then exile effects. However, instead of just leaving it underneath the ooze until the ooze dies and then the opponent gets it back, you can pay mana and put that card into their graveyard if you think they're going to destroy your ooze. It's interesting, and it has a solid stat line of 4/3 for 4 mana with the ability on top of it. I mean, honestly, it might see play. Skyclave Apparition was such a strong and powerful card, but it was also 3 mana. 4 mana might be a little too slow, but we'll see. I like it. I like it nonetheless. Guild Thief, 2 mana 1/1 Orc Rogue. Oh boy. Whenever a Guild Thief deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on it. I'm not joking. 4 mana, Guild Thief can't be blocked this turn. And draft, that's it's GG, it's over. You better hope your opponent didn't get this and then the proper control elements, right? Could you imagine Guild Thief alongside the Scholar up here? Every time it deals damage, it's drawing them a card, it's building itself a little bit bigger, and if it doesn't get in, then, you know, at least it doesn't die. Devour Intellect, 1 mana sorcery, target opponent discards a card. If mana from a treasure was spent to cast this spell, instead that player reveals their hand, you choose a non-land card from it, then that player discards that card. Ooh. Depending on how good treasure tokens are, this card is going to become a lot of people's most hated. Most hated. You hear something on Watch. 2 mana instant speed, choose 1. Creatures you control gain +1/+1 until end of turn. Set off traps. This spell deals 5 damage to target attacking creature. Honestly, with us having Magecraft out, not bad. You got it on the offensive, +1/+1. You have Leonin Light Scribe down, +2/+2 to all your creatures. +2/+2 onto your, you know, your 1 mana mage as well. Not too shabby. And the ability, of course, to take out a creature on the flip side of that when you need be. Pretty good. Charmed Sleep, we've seen this before. Enchant creature, enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. So, you know, I like the picture. That dragon is really cute. I'll move on. Dawnbringer Cleric. 2 mana, human cleric. When it enters the battlefield, choose 1. You gain 2 life, and it is a 1/3. 2 mana, 1/3. Honestly, I love them. I love them because they have the ability to block a lot. Dispel magic, destroy target enchantment, or exile target card from a graveyard. General repose. Honestly, could see it getting played. It's a cleric, solid base toughness at least, and the ability to destroy target enchantment, which not, honestly, I don't think as powerful as artifacts are right now, given we have Great Hinge and Embercleave and blah, 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 blah. But still, you know, gains you health in a bond, destroys stuff, exiles their Croxa or whatever graveyard card they may have. You see a guard approach. 1 mana instant speed in blue. Choose 1. Distract the guard. Tap target creature. Okay, that's fine. Target creature you control gains hexproof until end of turn. Ooh, my goodness. For common, that's so good. Instant speed. The ability to either tap your opponent's creature from attacking or protect your creature from being destroyed for 1 mana. This card honestly seems like it should be 2 mana, but yeah, fantastic. Again, common. Everybody gets the joys of it. Plundering Barbarian. 3 mana dwarf barbarian. When Plundering Barbarian enters the battlefield, choose 1. Destroy target artifact. Okay. Or create a treasure token. 3 mana for a 2/2. Unless we see a specific dwarf deck arise that, you know, calls for this, we won't see this. In draft, you might, but yeah. Circle of Dreams Druid. I like this card, but it's not ever going to see play because it's so weak. 3 mana, 2/1. Tap. Add green mana for each creature you control. I mean, if it lives and you have something in hand to play with it, it's fantastic. But it's every instance where it doesn't live, and boy, that's going to be a lot of them. Alrighty, the Black Staff of Waterdeep. 1 mana legendary artifact for blue. You may choose not to untap the Black Staff of Waterdeep during your untap step. Okay. 2 mana, tap it. Another target non-token artifact you control becomes a 4/4 artifact creature for as long as this remains tapped. Okay. 3 mana total put out, and you get a 4/4. But you get the ability to constantly have that 4/4 be a blocker or attacker on the board. We'll see. It doesn't smack me as overwhelmingly positive, but it also doesn't smack me as one of those things that I won't get super annoyed at when a control player is just like, here's a 4/4, here's a 4/4. You know what I mean? We'll see. Treasure chest. 3 mana artifact. Pay 4 mana, sacrifice treasure chest, roll a d20. Oh boy. If you roll a 1, it's a trap chest. You lose 3 life. So you paid 7 mana and you lost 3 life. It's probably going to feel really bad. If you roll a 2 through a 9, create 5 treasure tokens. Now, if you don't have any interaction with treasure tokens, you just spent 7 mana to gain 5. Now, granted, that 5's not 5's land, so it might be worth it because you can spend 3. Next turn, spend 4. Boom. Now you're at, 5. So it's not horrible. It's not horrible. 10 to 19. You gain 3 life. You draw 3 cards. There's some instances where I'd rather have the treasure tokens, but I can respect that. And then if you hit a 20, search your library for a card. If it's an artifact card, you may put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put that card into your hand, then shuffle. That's okay. It's like a free Great Hinge, free Embercleave, that kind of stuff. Mimic, which I can't read because that's another language, which is fine. You come to a river, 2 mana instant speed. Choose 1, fight the current. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. That's fine because you can do yours or the opponent's. Target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn and can't be blocked this turn. I don't love it. I do not love it. Then we have Cave of the Frost Dragon. An adventure for character level 17 through 20. Land. If you control 2 or more other lands. Wait a minute. We have this down here too. Okay, so this is just like a cool art for it. If you control 2 or more other lands, Cave of the Frost Dragon enters the battlefield tapped. So it's like the reverse of Fabled Passage. You want to play this early. Tap, add white mana. For 5 mana, Cave of the Frost Dragon becomes a 3/4 white dragon creature with flying. Oh no. The amount of lands that are becoming creatures is getting a little scary. Also, how is this not a snow land? Cave of the Frost Dragon? Anybody? Hello? Anyways, then we have Icing Death, Frost Tyrant, which we have here and here. Not gonna lie, this one seems like a friendly dragon. Does not seem that menacing. This one, classic dragon, probably gonna freeze you to death. But I like the idea of a dragon not looking like a classic dragon. This looks more like an owl, kinda. Anyways, Flying Vigilance. When Icing Death, Frost Tyrant dies, create Icing Death, Frost Tongue. Ew. A legendary white equipment artifact token with equipped creature gets +2/+0. Whenever equipped creature attacks, tap target creature defending player controls. And it has an equip 2 cost. Four mana for a 4/3 of Flying Vigilance in mono white. Not too shabby. When it dies, you get an equipment on the backside of it, which you might have like a Havar or that 2 mana Core Warrior card that says, you know, other warriors equipped have double strike. Both of those I could see being very or fairly effective with this card. And hey, you know, 4 mana Flying Vigilance, it's solid. Flame Skull, 3 mana 3/1 flying. Ooh. Flame Skull can't block. Okay. Rejuvenation. When Flame Skull dies, exile it. If you do, exile the top card of your library until the end of your next turn. Wow. You may play one of those cards. Okay. So it dies. You get to look at the top card of your library. If you don't like it that much, you just play you play this card right back down, and so on and so forth. I really like that. I really like the effect of it. I don't know how effective it'll be, but I like the effect of it. Goodness gracious. Den of the Bugbear. Land, if you control 2 or more, same as always. It's red version though. 4 mana until end of turn. Den of the Bugbear becomes a 3/2 red goblin creature token with, whenever this creature attacks, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token that's tapped and attacking. Okay, so this just seems like the theme of the lands of the set. They can become creatures and then do stuff when they attack. Sphere of Annihilation, X, and then, you know, the single black mana. Artifact, Sphere of Annihilation enters the battlefield with X void counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile Sphere of Annihilation. All creatures and planeswalkers with mana value less than or equal to the number of void counters on it. And all creature and planeswalker cards in graveyards with mana value less than or equal to the number of void counters on it as well. Ooh, that's, you know, it's a thing. What I'm seeing might happen. Vorinclex might be coming back, and Golgari might be fairly strong. Could you imagine playing this with a Vorinclex? You could exile everything. Of course, you're probably going to exile your Vorinclex as well, so maybe not. Maybe not. We'll see, though. I like it, and I'm going to hate it. I'm telling you now. Gonna hate it. Sphere of Annihilation. We will all end up hating it, actually. We're gonna hate it together. It's gonna be nice. Purple Worm. I'm not sure what these cards are. Like, what are they in reference to, I guess? Anyways, 7 mana, Worm, 8/7. The spell costs 2 less to cast if a creature died this turn, and it has a ward of 2. Not too shabby for being an uncommon. Minion of the Mighty. It's a kobold. 1 mana, 0/1. Menace. Has pack tactics. Whenever you attack, You may put a dragon creature card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. It's very interesting. The fact that it has absolutely 0 power, it's not a knight or any effective, tribal. It is non-human, which means for things like Winota might be effective. But that's kind of an alright little thing there. Then we have Xanathar, Guild Kingpin. Oh, I like it. 6 mana, 5/6. It's a beholder. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose target opponent, which is always going to be your opponent. Till end of turn, that player can't cast spells. Okay. You may look at the top card of their library anytime. You may play the top card of their library, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast spells this way. So, as long as this thing survives your upkeep and the opponent's turn, whatever. They can't cast counter magic. You can play spells from the top of their deck, much like people use... Sorry, my camera was focusing. Much like people used to use Bolas' Citadel for. Except you don't have to pay the life. You do have to pay the mana, which is, of course, one of the benefits of Bolas' Citadel. But honestly, dear God, I'm sorry. For those of you who don't know, I fractured my ring finger. I also fractured this ring finger. So occasionally I have to swap from my ring finger to my bird finger whenever I go to work at night. So I usually swap it onto this hand because washing dishes and things of that nature. Yeah. Anyways, Guild Kingpin has the stamp of approval. Minion of the Mighty. We already read that. How far are we deep into this? 28 minutes. How far? Okay, so we'll probably get to Wednesday and then maybe call it. Hours Hippo. Oh, it's a whole nother language. That explains it. That's a whole nother language as well. That's a whole nother language. Oh, I like the art for it though. And then we have Hive of the Eye Tyrant. I really like the art over here. If you control 2 or more, enters tap for black mana until end of turn. Becomes a 3/3 black beholder creature with menace. Whenever this creature attacks, exile target card from defending player's graveyard. That's kind of the weakest attack ability, but it does have menace, so far the easiest one to actually get in with. We'll see. Can't read that card, can't read that card, can't read that card, can't read that card. And then we'll be on to June 30th. Hey now. And honestly, we don't have too much more to go, I don't think. I see that this slider keeps going for quite a while, but holy moly, maybe we do. It'll be alright. We'll get through it as we're getting through it. So, let's go read these real quick. Got it, thanks for telling me. Mimic, sacrifice Mimic, add 1 mana of any color, 2 mana. Mimic becomes a shapeshifter artifact creature with base power and toughness, 3/3 until end of turn. That's okay. Then we have Owlbear. It's a bird bear, 5 mana, trample, 4/4. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Fairly straightforward. So we actually had we pulled this card up twice actually, because here's the other card, or a copy of it. So 9 mana Tarask. It's a dinosaur. If it was cast, it has haste and ward 10. Which means somebody's gonna have to pay whatever they want to play to destroy it, plus 10 additional mana. Whenever it attacks, it fights target creature defending player controls. No trample? I mean, I guess if you had trample, then reanimate decks would just be looking to reanimate it and immediately bash face. I don't know how I feel about it. I honestly don't know. Like, Ward 10 isn't going to stop the board wipe, and to sink 9 mana into a card that could just get board wiped. Well, it's just going to feel bad. And it's not like the haste is going to immediately win you the game. I mean, it might in the here's and there's. I don't know. Hall of the Storm Giant. Land. If you control 2 or more, this is a blue version. 6 mana. You can make it become a land. It becomes a 7/7 blue giant creature with ward 3. So it's the largest. I like the art for it as well. Then we have Horny Bard, which I think might equate to something else when it comes into English. I'm not sure. It's a Tiefling Bard, 3 mana, 2/3. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gets +1/+0. Okay. Trey. Oh, we have 2 of this card pulled up. Okay. Treylasara, Moon Dancer. 2 mana, Selesnya, Elf Cleric, legendary creature. It's an uncommon. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on Moon Dancer and scry 1. Whoa, that's good. This ability we've seen before on a 2 mana creature, and it was very playable. A Johnny's Pridemate was like the baseline of what a creature could be fun, playable, usable, all that kind of stuff. And this is essentially that. A little bit harder in its mana cost, but you also get to scry, which, you know, a lot of the times with those life gaining sort of aggro counter based decks, those efficient based decks, one of their biggest problems is what they're drawing just isn't good enough. They hit lands too often. So having the ability to scry, well, it's perfect. It's just absolutely perfect for what they're going for there. Now, when we come back tomorrow, we'll be diving into June 30th and on, and I'm seeing now that there's a lot of cards that I can't read, so, you know, hey, I'll leave that for a future chance to decipher, discern, figure it out. Thanks everybody for watching. If you've enjoyed this spoiler breakdown, be sure to leave a like down below, and of course, comment on what your favorite spoiler was from this little preview thing. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. Subscribe if you want to see more awesome content from yours truly, or if you want to see the rest of the spoilers, or if you want to see what I do with these cards when this set comes out. Then, you know, you'll want to be there and get notifications. So hit the subscribe button, the bell icon that pops out afterwards, and you'll be notified when I post more videos. Thanks, everybody, again for watching. Hope you enjoyed for the second time around. And, you know, as always, I'll see you tomorrow or within the next video. If you want to go watch another, that works too. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you next time.